2017 was my busiest year yet. A year full of long days, hard work, and a lot of fun. I had so many adventures, so many memories, and so many things I'm excited to share with you today. This is a look back on 2017. I started the year off by exploring the snowy forest with my friend Marissa and hiking up and down the trails.
As January continued, I had to say goodbye to one of my best friends, Kat, as she went on an exchange for a semester in Sweden.
And I ended the month by going to St. Catharines to go to a Brock versus Ryerson game where I visited my friend Lizzie. At the beginning of February, I made my way back to St. Catharines and I spent a night with Lizzie. We had so much fun running around campus. As March rolled around, me and my roommates hosted a St. Pat's pre/party, which was pretty lit. I also attended my first conference, which was at Ryerson. It was called Vision, and my roommate Erin was a part of the planning committee. I went to a two-phase party with work, which was beyond lit. This may have been where I decided that splits were going to be my ultimate party trick. This month was also when I had my first speed dating style job fair, which is a really great experience, and it was done through school. Now rolling into April, it started with Erin and Allison coming home with me for Easter. And then a couple weeks later, my American cousins Duncan and Gordy and my Aunt Bonnie and Gordon came to visit. We went to a Jays game and went up the CN Tower, and it was really fun to show them around my city. I finished my third year of university, which is insane, and I celebrated with my friends quite a bit. May was a great month as it was the start to the summer season. Not technically summer break for me, as I did decide to take an accounting course. I started the month off by finally going and see the cherry blossoms, which I've been saying I was going to see for years. I got to puppy sit with my parents, that little sweetheart Riga, and while I was doing that, I also photographed my uncle's wedding. In May, I also bought myself a new vlog camera, and I vlogged a lot. Shameless self-plug, my vlog channel is linked down below. June was a bit of a hectic month. I started it off by having my first swim of the year in the lake, which was a little chilly, but very fun. And then I hunted like crazy for an internship as I needed one to fulfill my credits. I got to go to 2 country concerts this month, the first one being Sam Hunt, who I deeply adore, and you probably already know that, and the next one being the James Barker Band, who put on such an amazing show and quickly became one of my favorite artists after this performance. July was a very busy and very fun month. We started off by celebrating Canada Day by going paintballing. Not very Canadian, but me and my family had a fun time shooting each other. We also had a yard sale at the cottage this weekend and made over $600, which then I dropped in the lake, but the money was okay, don't worry. Then I started a new job. I finally found an internship. I worked as a social media and marketing intern, still currently working with them, and they've been so good to me. Mid-July, I went to PEI to visit some family. I ended up getting stuck in the airport for 8 hours as my flight kept getting delayed and delayed and delayed, so it was a very interesting travel day. This trip was especially important as I got to meet my half-brother Mark and his fiancée Ashley for the first time. After coming back to Toronto from PEI, I spent the rest of the month working hard, balancing my 2 jobs and working on my summer course. To celebrate the end of the month, me and my friend Lish took a 5-hour road trip to Ottawa and hung out with Erin for the weekend. It was so fun to tour the city. I finished off my accounting course with a C, which I was pretty dang happy about, and then I started a professional presentations, which was just a public speaking class. I started out the month of August by hosting some of my closest friends at my grandparents' cottage, and it was so wonderful to spend the weekend with all of them. I also got to see some of my favorite artists, including Keith Urban and Luke Bryan, at Boots and Hearts Music Festival. This was my second year going, and it was so much fun, and I'm already pumped to go back next year. Me and my parents took a trip out west to Calgary, where we did have another 5-hour delay on planes. They were not on our side this summer, but we went out to Calgary to go to my half-brother Mark's wedding. It was so nice to meet his entire family, and we felt so welcomed. This was such a special weekend and definitely one of the highlights of my entire summer. While I was out there, I also had the opportunity to go to Banff, Lake Louise, and Moraine Lake, and Moraine Lake stole my heart. It was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen, and I am dying to go back. In the last week of August, I ended up getting strep throat and literally thought I was dying. I have never felt so sick before, but after I rallied, I took a trip to the CNE with my friend Melinda and celebrated the end of summer. August was spent with 14-hour days, working super hard and being insanely busy. September started with me going back to school for my 4th year of university, which is honestly insane. I went to a One Direction dance party at ClassicKatie's, which was a bit of a hot mess, but super fun. Traveled to Boston to celebrate my dad's 60th birthday and hang out with my cousins. And while I was there, I got the chance to go to Rhode Island to meet my best internet friend, El Chu. She is such an amazing human. We met here on YouTube. I'll have her link down below. That was definitely one of my highlights of the entire year. We've been such good friends for so long, and it was so nice to finally see her in person and give her a hug. At the end of the month, I went to go visit my friend Emily at Head of the Trent, which is pretty much like the homecoming of Trent University, and it was such a fun weekend. October, like the months before, was honestly insane. I started off the month by having a cottage Thanksgiving with my cottage neighbors, which was super nice, and on actual Thanksgiving, October 9th, I celebrated my 21st birthday, which crazy. That weekend I also went for a polar bear dip, which was freezing, but a ton of fun. I'll never turn down a swim. This month I also became a Girl Guide leader, which is honestly one of my favorite things I've done this entire year. I celebrated Halloween twice, first as a mermaid, and second as an alien or the moon, whatever you'd like to call it. And on the actual night of Halloween, I went to the Katy Perry concert, which was super odd, but super fun. At the beginning of November, I went back to Trent to visit my friends Emily and Katrina because I was missing them. And halfway through the month, I went to a family gathering where my cousins brought their brand new puppy. I fell in love with her. And rolling into December, the last month of the year, I started it off with another family Christmas party. This one was decorated absolutely beautiful and it was so much fun. I did Vlogmas this month, so I captured a lot of content. I went to my first NFL game with my dad, Patriots versus Buffalo Bills. I worked and survived my second insane holiday retail season at Sephora. I went to the Toronto Christmas market with my best friend Katie. I celebrated Christmas at home with my parents, which was so nice, and everyone came to our house, which was so different. We also went tobogganing, which was a great time. And then I celebrated New Year's Eve with my friend Katie, and it was a wonderful end to such a wonderful, wonderful year. As you can tell, 2017 has been a wild, wild ride for me. I have done so much, worked so hard, and been so happy with the life I am living. I cannot wait to see what 2018 has in store for me. Happy New Year!